Hey guys, welcome to Mitch's Music. Today we are going to talk about guitar strings and guitar bends and getting started with bends. And I'm going to give you a couple of simple tips to know where to do bends, know what notes you're playing, and giving you some alternatives to other places that you can do those bends. And so we're mainly going to deal with bends on the G string and the B string, and we'll talk a little bit about the different types of bends and stuff like that. But in general, this is going to be me telling you things that I didn't know when I started bends, and it has helped me to just kind of understand. Okay, I'm having a hard time playing this lick right here. Can I move it somewhere else, and things like that. So let's get started. First of all, you've got a couple of different types of bends, and so if you're looking at tablature, if it says half, that means that you are bending a half step. So if I was bending right here, I'm bending this note up to here. So you just want it to go up to there. So it sounds something like that, right? If you see a one, that means that you're bending from here to here. And that sounds more like this. So that one takes a little bit more finger strength, and you really need to grab it. Normally, I'm bending with my second or my third finger as much as I possibly can. And then from there, you can get into double stops and things like that. And that's where I want to spend the majority of my video is on those. One more bend is a quarter bend, and that's more that when I was learning tab, that's one that confused me because it's not really a notation that we have. We don't have scales and quarter tones or anything like that. And so really think of that as more of just an accent on that note. So you're bending it a little bit and then you're letting go. So like a good example of that is a lot of country songs will do a little bend on the third fret and then go to the root note. So like, so it's just like a little thing, let go, just like that. So let's get into what I really wanted to talk about today, and that is the double stop kinds of bends. And so most of these are going to be a whole step bend. So it would have a one out beside it. And let me show you what I'm talking about. It's the country style bends that sound like this. So you've got, I use my third finger. Sometimes I'll use my pinky. Like you'll see my different fingers on this depending on what comes next most of the time. But right now I have my third finger on the third fret of the B string, and I'm going to bend the G string a whole step. So right now this G string, I'm playing an A on the G string, and I'm going to bend it up to a B. Okay, so what you're actually doing is you're playing an A, bending it up to a B, and then right here with your third finger, you're playing a D. And so you're bending this A into the B of the G chord. And so most of the time you're going to use this with a G chord, and it sounds like this. And many times they're going to end up going to the root note, the G. And so you're bending all the way up to here. Sounds like. Now, the other thing that you can get to in this type of fret is the same type of bend, but it's on different strings. And so this is the one that you can do in different places. This one, you could do it on a lower string, but once you get lower than the G string, the D string, the A string, the E string, especially with double stop bends, they just don't sound as good. They're a little meatier. The way the strings are laid out, they're a little harder to play. And so you don't see a lot of people playing those. Hey, Anchor. Let me know if you have any questions, by the way. And so we are starting. So we just did this little bend on the G string, playing the D string on the 3rd fret, bending it up. All right. Then the next thing we're going to talk about is another one that you can do. So this one would be bending for G. So you're bending. So if you're playing the G chord, that goes for G. In the key of G, another chord that we have is C. And so C would be the same idea, except I'm going to do it with the B and the high E string, and I'm going to bend the B string. So what I'm bending right now, so I'm playing a G right here on the high E string, and I'm playing a D on the B string, and I'm going to bend it up to an E right here. So it's going to sound like this. And then you can go to, so like if you were doing a G progression that goes to a C, you could do something like, and so I'm just ending on the root. So I'm going D to E, bend it back to here, and then go into C. Now, B strings are kind of notoriously hard to bend. B strings are notoriously hard to bend, and so that's kind of why a lot of people have invented B benders and things like that. So if you have a hard time with this bend right here, you can do that same G bend and get those same notes just at a different fret. So think of this G bend. I'm doing a G bend on the G string. So if I wanted to do that in the key of G, I'm going to do it on the 3rd fret. So my third finger is going to be on the 3rd fret. I'm going to bend the 2nd fret up. So that's the key of G right there. If I wanted to do it on the key of C, which is the same as this one, I'm going to go to the 8th fret. So now my finger is on the 8th fret, and I'm going to bend the 7th fret up to the 9th fret. So it sounds like this. And it's the exact same thing as this. Same notes. So a lot of times I will alternate between what I'm playing with these. Like if I'm having a hard time getting the G bend, I mean the B bend, the B string bend, I will sometimes move it to play. So like if I was doing a song that did, so I just went G, bending into a G chord, then bending into a C chord, then bending into a D chord. And now you can do any of these on the B string and the high E string as well. So here's C, and then here's the D. All right, so those are bending into thirds. So we're bending this note up to a third. We're bending this note up to a third. So the other kind of bend that's really popular is this kind of a bend where you're bending the G string and then you're going to play the B and the high E string. So like you've got Chuck Berry stuff like. And the other thing that people use this for is octave bend. So when I bend this up, I'm starting right here on the 5th fret, and then I'm going to play up here on the 3rd fret. When I bend this up, I'm actually playing the same note. So this is a bend. And then if I play this 3rd fret right here, it's the exact same note. So you'll hear a lot of people do bends like, and that's an octave bend. Or the other version of it is the kind of Chuck Berry thing. So like I said, just like with this one, I'm in the key of G. And it just moves up. So like if I wanted to be in the key of A, I move up to the 5th fret. Key of B, move up to the 7th fret. Key of C, move up to the 8th fret. D, move up to the 10th fret. And I will post a link at the bottom of the video a little bit later. I have a couple of things that will show you the frets that these are used to. Basically the most of the keys are going to match what the high E string or the low E string does. And so right here, when I'm at the 3rd fret, I'm playing the 3rd fret, bending the 5th fret. I'm playing a G, so I'm in the key of G most of the time. And if you see any of those kind of riffs in other songs, then key of G, 3rd fret, key of A, 5th fret, key of B, 7th fret, key of C, 8th fret, key of D, 9th fret. And then you go all the way up to the key of E. Or you can do that same bend that I did earlier. All right, guys, so that's my quick overview of bends. Now, what I would like to have happen next, if you've watched this video, hopefully it's helped you with connecting a few things, but I don't know what I don't know. So ask your questions. Leave questions in the comments below, and I'll come back and do an update on any questions that you have. Have a great day, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Let me know if you have any requests as well. I'm getting a lot of great requests. So just let me know those. Keep those coming. Like I said, have a great day. See you in the next video.